In recent dailies and even a Beyond Today program, I've made a point of talking about how on January 3rd of 2020, a prayer opening the Congress called down the name of a pagan god, and 3 days later, on January 6th, a mob stormed through the United States Capitol, scattering everyone, and the fact that a pagan god, a pagan deity had been invoked brought chaos. The spiritual dimension, the spiritual evils that are running amok at times are very instructive, and we should not forget this. I ran across another story since that time that I think illustrates the point, dealing with God and this particular Congress. In recent days, the United States Congress has been debating what is an Equality Act. I'll have more to say about that in another daily, but a revolution of legislation that is being enacted by the Congress against the moral order of God. During that debate, one congressman had the courage to bring up the fact during the debate that the Equality Act was totally against the teaching of God. Part of the debate, as they were debating the elements of this act, dealing with abortion, sex, and gender issues, and some of the Republicans that were there actually brought up in the defense of what was going on or what was being done here to really illustrate the fact that he says men and women claim to be able to choose their own sexual identity. They're making a statement that God did not know what he was doing when he created them, one congressman said. And in talking about this act, it says the gender confusion that exists in our culture today is a clear rejection of God's good design. I have total agreement with that. Whenever a nation's laws no longer reflect the standards of God, that nation is in rebellion against him and will inevitably bear the consequences, this one congressman said. And he concluded, we are seeing the consequences of rejecting God here in our country today. So far, so good. The debate was lost, however, but it brought up a very shocking comment from a congressman who was advocating for the Equality Act, who said, what any religious tradition describes as God's will is no concern of this Congress. Strong words. Strong words against God, against his purpose, against his created order, in favor of an act that will be a complete moral revolution. Spiritual evil is behind a great deal of what is infecting and impacting our nation today. When God is not taken into account, and blatant statements like that the debates of Congress are not God's concern, we should take note of that. And we should certainly pray, thy kingdom come. SBT Daily. Join us next time.